If you watch television in the 1960s and 1970s, there is one character actor that appeared all over the place. He was in radio, he was in television, he was in commercials. This guy's face was plastered all over the place. He has to be the busiest guy in Hollywood. Now, I'm talking about Allan Melvin. Now, he was an American character actor, and he was a voice actor too, and an impressionist. He was cast in hundreds of television episodes from the 1950s all the way to the early 1990s. And a lot of those roles were recurring roles too. Now, there's basically two different types of character actors that I think of. One is a character actor that changes his appearance and looks different in each role that you see him in. One that I can think of current day is a guy named Stephen Root. He is in hundreds of movies, and he doesn't look the same in any of the movies. And then there's the other type of character actor that looks the same in every movie or TV show that you see him in, but he plays different roles, and they seem different just because his superior acting ability. His face looks the same, your mind tells you it's the same guy, but actually his acting convinces you that he's in a different part. Such is the case with Allan Melvin. What a classic this guy is. Now, Melvin was actually born in Kansas City, and he spent part of his time in New York City with his grandparents. He went on to attend Columbia University. After graduating, he went on to join the U.S. Navy during World War II. While he was working a job in the sound effects department of NBC Radio, he did a nightclub act and appeared and won on an Arthur Godfrey Talent Scout radio show. He later appeared on Broadway in Starlog 17, but he got his real break in television with the role of Corporal Steve Henshaw on the popular Phil Silvers show. He was Sergeant Bilko's right-hand man on that show. And he has even stated that that is the show that he's the proudest of. He said that everybody on the show was so easy to work with, and it was such a relaxed setting. Now, in the 1960s, he worked extensively with CBS, and primarily Sheldon Leonard and Aaron Rubin. Now, if you remember those names, Sheldon Leonard and Aaron Rubin are the ones that were responsible for The Andy Griffith Show and Gomer Pyle and many more. They were sitcom pioneers. They are the ones that wrote the book on how to produce a successful sitcom. Now, during that time, Allan played Staff Sergeant Charlie Hacker, who was Vince Carter's rival for 4 seasons in Gomer Pyle USMC. He also made 8 appearances on the Dick Van Dyke Show. He provided the voices for numerous cartoon characters. One of the most famous that he did was Magilla Gorilla. Now, I remember Allan really well from the Andy Griffith Show. He was in 8 different episodes of the Andy Griffith Show, and he played different roles in each part, and they were heavy roles. He made 3 guest appearances on Perry Mason. And don't forget, he was the space enforcer on the series Lost in Space in the episode West of Mars. He is also remembered for supporting roles in 2 popular 1970s sitcoms. He played Sam Franklin, the owner of a butcher shop, and he was the boyfriend of the Brady's housekeeper, Alice, in the Brady Bunch. And he played Barney Hefner, which was Archie Bunker's neighbor and friend on All in the Family. Some of his most prolific work was in television commercials for products such as diverse as Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes and Remington electric razors. For 15 years, he played Al the Plumber for the liquid-plumr commercials. Then as you get into the early 1980s, he appeared as a regular on Archie Bunker's Place, where he reprised the now important role of Barney Hefner. When that series ended in 1983, his work was exclusively devoted to cartoon voiceovers. His voice acting career continued until 1994, with Scooby-Doo and Arabian Nights being his final voice work before retiring. Now, I'm sure if you think back, or if you're an avid old TV watcher like I am, you see this guy all the time. And I would love for you to take a look and just notice how many times you see this guy's face in TV and in commercials. But you sure see him on the small screen, that's for sure. In the Webster's Dictionary, there ought to be a picture of Allan Melvin beside the word character actor, because I don't think anybody defines it any better than he does. Now, Allan died of cancer in January of 2008. He was 84. He's buried at Westwood Memorial Cemetery in L.A. Now, he's buried just yards from quite a few really strange people that were involved in his life. He's buried really close to Carol O'Connor, who played Archie Bunker in All in the Family. And right next to him is buried one of the biggest pinups of the 1950s, and that's Betty Page. I also find it just amazing that Barney Fife's biggest problem was usually Allan Melvin on the Andy Griffith Show, and Barney is buried not very far from where Allan lays. So yes, Don Knotts and he are in the same small graveyard in L.A. I sure want to thank you, Allan, for the laughs that you provided, and there are plenty of them. And they still continue to this day in reruns. Rest in peace. Thank you so much for watching.